So you don't necessarily have to go to YouTube and manually search those, influencers and reach out to them and try to build a partnership that way. We've got an inventory of 4,000 affiliates already on our platform who are already familiar with this model. You're not having to re-educate folks so much.
Welcome to the Ecomm Breakthrough Podcast. Are you ready to unlock the full potential and growth in your business? You've already crossed 7 figures in sales, but the challenge is knowing how to take your business to the next level. Join Josh Hadley, an 8-figure Ecomm business owner and investor, as he interviews highly successful business owners. Get ready, because you're going to learn specific actions you can take today to help your business reach its full potential and leave a lasting impact on the world.
Welcome to the Ecomm Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Hadley, where I interview the top business leaders in e-commerce. Past guests include Kevin King, Michael E. Gerber, and Matt Clark from ASM. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Rob Schab. He is the CMO and co-founder of Levanta. And today, Rob and I are going to be discussing the power of affiliate marketing and exploding your sales on Amazon and even increasing your organic ranking through the power of affiliates. This episode is brought to you by Ecomm Breakthrough Consulting, where I help 7-figure companies grow to 8 figures and beyond. Listen, Rob, I started my business back in 2015 and grew it to an 8-figure brand in 7 years. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way that made the path of getting to 8 figures take a lot longer than it needed to. There were times where I made bad hiring decisions, or I had to finance payroll from my own personal checking account because of cash flow constraints. And last but not least, I watched my business drop by 90% when COVID happened and the stress and anxiety of knowing whether our brand would survive. So I remember wishing for somebody, a mentor who could guide me through the way of scaling up my business, someone who had been there, done that could share all the secrets to help me overcome all of these obstacles. And so that's why I've decided to offer that one-on-one coaching and consulting that I wish I would have had back then. And this is where I'm going to share my nitty-gritty cash flow frameworks, the sales strategies, the operating systems that have helped me scale my own brand. And because I believe in giving each entrepreneur my undivided attention, I only work with 3 clients at a time. But first, before we get to that point, I want to make sure I provide value to you guys. So I offer a completely free, no strings attached, comprehensive business strategy audit session, just to show you how much value I could provide to your business. So to our listeners, if this is something that it sounds like you'd be up for and interested in, go ahead and email me at josh@ecommbreakthrough.com. That's Ecomm with 2 M's. And in your subject line, say, I want to pick your brain. And then let's chat about how we can take your brand to the next level. But today, I am thrilled to introduce y'all to Rob Schab, the CMO and co-founder of Levanta. He has a rich background in marketing. Rob also served as the CRO and co-founder of Grovia. He's an alumnus from the University of Washington. And a little brief bio about Levanta. It's an affiliate network that's customized for Amazon sellers, and it unveils the transformative power and advantages to really scale brands and sellers. So with that introduction, welcome to the show, Rob.
Thanks so much for having me, Josh. Really excited to be here and talk affiliate marketing with you and your Ecomm crew. Really love what you're doing for your entrepreneurs. I know that being a first-time entrepreneur specifically can be a really challenging thing. There were a lot of things I did in my first journey that I wish I hadn't. That those failures and learnings have helped me in my second business. So I know that a lot of entrepreneurs out there can use someone like you, and hopefully I can provide value to those same entrepreneurs through what we're doing. So I think we're in for a great show here.
Yeah, I love that. Now, Rob, with that being said, you've got a lot of experience. You were doing Grovia before, now you're doing Levanta. So tell me about that transition. How did Levanta come about and kind of the story behind it?
Yeah, you bet. It's been a really fun and interesting journey. So yeah, we started Grovia about 4 years ago. It was an affiliate recruitment software and service specifically for D2C brands, so Shopify stores or e-commerce websites. We grew that business over the course of about 2 years and eventually sold that business to Acceleration Partners, which is one of the bigger global affiliate marketing agencies. It was during that time that we started to look into, okay, we're obviously having a lot of success in growing affiliate programs for D2C brands, but it turns out that Amazon is 40% of US e-commerce. Why aren't we providing these same services in software for Amazon sellers? And we started to look into the different options available for sellers and really couldn't find anything. So, we decided that that was the opportunity that we needed to pursue. We needed to unlock what is a $6 billion industry in the D2C space. We needed to unlock that in the Amazon world. And so that was the idea behind Levanta. We launched about a year and a half ago, and it's been immensely successful, not only for us as a business, but for the sellers that are using our platform. We're driving upwards of $10 million a month for our Amazon sellers. And we're supporting hundreds of sellers today and thousands of creators. So, and again, being an entrepreneur myself, we're working with a lot of Amazon sellers that are just, one man, one woman shops. And it's really, empowering, and it feels good to be able to help, other entrepreneurs out there be successful with their businesses. So that's where we're at today.
I love that. Now, Rob, I'm a current user of Levanta and a big fan of the platform, and that's kind of it's reaching out to your marketing team in general, and that's how we kind of got in touch. But I'm a big proponent of your platform because it's really hard to be able to there's a lot of strategies and hacks that people have shared about, hey, go find YouTube influencers and go tell them that you're going to go double their Amazon affiliate commissions. Go search for the short form Amazon link. It's like amazon.to, blah, 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 right? Go search for those, reach out to those people manually. Tell them that they need to send over their affiliate, commission report from Amazon, and then you'll go ahead and double it. You'll send them it over via PayPal. Those were the hacks that have been talked about for years now. And what I love about Levanta is that what you've done is you've kind of removed that portion that says, hey, download your report, show me what you actually made sales for, and then I'll go ahead and cut you a commission for that. Instead, really, it's a beautiful interface and dashboard that I can see everything in one place. Is that kind of, and I guess on top of that, you actually get to capitalize on the brand referral bonus. So it kind of automates all of this together to where you don't have to create the brand referral link, then go tell the affiliate, hey, I need you to make sure you use this link. You can still use your affiliate's link in coordination with this. Kind of does all in one. Is that a true synopsis of what it provides?
Yeah, you absolutely summed it up perfectly. And I respect the heck out of the hack that you mentioned there. And I think people should still do that to some degree. What we've done is to kind of automate three of the big processes that you mentioned there and much more. But the three big automations that we built are the recruitment piece of things. So you don't necessarily have to go to YouTube and manually search those, influencers and reach out to them and try to build a partnership that way. We've got an inventory of 4,000 affiliates already on our platform who are already familiar with this model. You're not having to re-educate folks so much. And then there's the next piece, which is automating tracking. Instead of having to, have them use an Amazon link and then manually download their associate's report and share that with you, and then you have to validate it and trust that they're telling the truth. In Levanta, you just give them a tracking link so that they can get the commission directly from you through Amazon attribution, and they can meanwhile still get their Amazon associates commission. And then there's the payments piece, which is another big challenge to do at scale. If you're working with hundreds or thousands of influencers and affiliates, it's really challenging to do this manual audit of every single spreadsheet and decide how much you have to pay them, and then pay them each through different ways that they want to be paid. It's an incredibly challenging thing to manage at a small scale and almost impossible to manage at a large scale. So all of those things, Levanta does for you through our software. I mentioned the recruitment, we have the marketplace, I mentioned the tracking, we have the automation of link creation, and then the payments where you can work with 1,000 different affiliates and you only have to pay one invoice at the end of each month, and we facilitate the payments for you. So yeah, lots of time saving.
You've definitely automated so much there. Now, this is one thing that's been a debatable topic in a few Facebook groups that I'm a part of, is people saying, well, can you actually merge a brand referral bonus link and have the associates or the affiliate then append their Amazon associates link to that, so you get to essentially double dip? They get their commission, you also get your kickback for the brand referral bonus. Is that TOS compliant?
Completely, yeah. And I appreciate you asking that, because I do want everyone to be aware. It is both technically possible. It's very easy to append an associate's tag to a Levanta link or an attribution link, and it is compliant. There's nothing against the Amazon Associates terms or the brand referral bonus terms that say, hey, you can't use both of these systems if you're an affiliate. Now, one thing that would be against the terms likely, and I think the brand referral bonus or attribution terms do say this, if you're a seller, you can also start your own associates account and get the brand referral bonus and the associates commission. That would be against the terms. But an affiliate using both and double dipping, that's completely allowed by Amazon today.
I love that. Now, and I've got a kind of a secret hack that I'll share here at the end. But before we get to that point, Rob, I would love for you to share a couple of the case studies that you've had of brands that have joined your platform and they have seen success. Again, I think that people have heard, affiliate marketing is a thing, but for a lot of Amazon sellers, like that's an extra task. It's separate than, launching a product. It's separate from PPC management. And for a lot of D2C brands, that's a full-time role for many of those D2C brands, like having an affiliate manager or a partner recruitment manager, right? For a lot of Amazon sellers, I would say that's a role that's missing. So why don't you maybe, talk to us about these case studies so that we can, help Amazon sellers know whether, hey, is this worth my time or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to touch on some of the case studies we've got published. But truthfully, we've got hundreds of happy Amazon seller customers. To the point where I really think that any Amazon seller should be considering this channel. It's not necessarily a fit for everyone, and we can talk about some of the things that make this better for some sellers than others. But it is something that every seller should at least assess or try. And I'll give you a couple examples of even like very small businesses, startups that have had success with this channel. The first one I want to mention is Grace and Stella. So Grace and Stella, they were looking to understand, the effects of the brand referral bonus and the impacts of external traffic on their organic rank or their BSR on Amazon. And so they started to run some isolated tests, and they found that, first of all, with brand referral bonus that you mentioned earlier, Josh, it is pretty simple to understand. You're getting 10% back on any sales that you generate through Amazon attribution, which is every sale that is generated or tracked through Levanta. So that's a huge win right off the get-go, because fees are high on Amazon and there's no denying that. So any way that you can kind of earn some of those fees back is really important. So brand referral bonus is an immediate, automatic, no-brainer win. Then there's these sort of additional benefits of this increase in organic rank. So what Grace and Stella did is they started to run some isolated tests to see, okay, if I run a bunch of affiliate traffic or external traffic to this particular ASIN, how does this affect my BSR on the ASIN? What they found was over the course of about 2 months, they saw an increase in BSR from around 300 to under 50. So that was an immediate win. Now, the sales also jumped up significantly as a result of that, but were a little more difficult to measure. So we ended up doing another case study and really truly isolating the two channels so that we could see the actual impact on sales. And we did this with a different client called Lockstar. It's smart locks, smart doorknobs that you can punch in a digital code. And basically what we found is throughout this test with Lockstar, set the stage a little bit, they were generating almost $0 at the time. They were thinking about liquidating their stock. They were thinking about shutting down that particular part of their business. And we said, hey, let's give this a try. Let's launch you an affiliate program. And maybe this helps you liquidate your stock as well. You can set a pretty high commission and you can start to generate sales this way. Let's see if this helps your organic rank. Basically, within a couple of weeks after launching the program, they started to get on a pace of generating about an additional $40,000 a month in affiliate sales alone. What this led to was a massive spike in BSR and an immediate uptick in organic sales, a measurable uptick. What we found was they actually generated an additional $40,000 that month in organic sales. So not only were they generating $40,000 in affiliate sales, but an additional double that amount in organic sales. So now I'm not saying that's the case necessarily for everyone. It depends on, the environment, the competitive environment and your products, current BSR. But the fact of the matter is that for some businesses, this can have a massive effect on your organic sales. So I definitely want more people to take that into account when they're thinking about the affiliate channel from a strategic standpoint. It's not always just about the sales that you can generate through affiliate marketing directly. There are sort of these, additional effects that you need to consider. And so we can talk more about sort of different hacks to get the most out of affiliate marketing when we get there.
Yeah, I love that. So you kind of get this like halo effect, right? Because you're driving external traffic. Amazon loves external traffic. You theoretically get this boost in organic ranking that, again, even if you're driving external traffic from Google ads, you've got Amped that has case studies that also say, yes, you drive significant volume off of Amazon, it will directly influence your organic rankings, even if that conversion rate from off Amazon traffic is lower than your current conversion rate. Amazon still loves that, and they know that. So, Rob, I'm interested because I want to dive deeper into that case study and really peel back, like, why was it so successful? To know how did they generate, $40,000 in revenue just a couple weeks on the Levanta platform. Like, is that what everybody should expect when they join Levanta? Or what was unique about them and what were they doing differently than, some brands? Because I've heard other brands that have got on, they're like, I didn't do anything for me. So tell me what made the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, there's, certain cases where this is going to generate $2 million a month for some sellers. And then in some cases where, the product's just not a right fit for affiliates and creators, and it may not work out. So affiliate marketing isn't for everyone. I'll give you a couple examples of products and brands that will work well and maybe some that won't work as well. But for Lockstar specifically, what they had was the advantage of having a high ticket item, something that is relatively low consideration. Like if somebody's in the market for a doorknob, they don't need to consider so much. Like they don't need to do a ton of research. They just need to go buy a doorknob so they can be easily convinced because they're in the market for buying it right now. So what they did was they actually worked with media buyers, which is a big sort of portion of our affiliate base. Media buyers will essentially put together content. In this case, a content piece might be top 10 smart locks or top 10 electric doorknobs or, different articles like this. And then they'll put your Amazon product number 1 on that listing and they'll go buy Google ads, Bing ads, potentially social ads, and they'll drive traffic to that content. And then from there, the user can select your product and go purchase. This can be an incredibly scalable channel, in many cases, much more scalable than driving, search ads and social ads directly to your Amazon listing, because there's some sort of like trusted source within that user journey that's actually recommending your product. Those media buyers can drive massive scale for these sort of high ticket items. Now, maybe you don't have a high ticket item. Maybe, I mentioned Grace and Stella, they're beauty products. They're fairly low consideration as well, and they're much cheaper. These might work better for, influencers who are looking for, novelty products with good branding to promote to their audience. So having something unique that your competitors may not have, it certainly helps. Having products that are, as I mentioned, low consideration, but like maybe like household necessities. Maybe you sell blenders. People need blenders, and they need to be influenced by somebody to find out which blender they may need. Um, Now there are also examples of products that may not work. Um, I always use the example of paper clips. There's a huge market for paper clips on Amazon. I'm certain of that. But an influencer may not feel very compelled to go, promote paper clips on their social accounts. It may not be a novel, sexy product that an influencer wants to promote. It may not be something that a media buyer thinks they can properly arbitrage. So it may not work very well with media buyers. Point is, there's not an exact science to what will and will not work. Usually it takes a little bit of testing. What we found is if you can find a couple of influencers or creators or affiliates that might work for you, that's a really good sign, because the chances are that there's a lot more of those out there, and probably a lot more of them within our marketplace. So if you get some early success on Levanta, it's a good sign that there's a lot more future success. If you're getting goose eggs month after month, there's a chance that it's just not a good fit for you.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So, Rob, I think the crucial aspect comes into be, how are you recruiting affiliates and how are you reaching out to them to actually promote your product? So let's dive into that. And why don't you share with me some of your top strategies for how do you go out and find affiliates? How do you get them to actually talk about your products? Because I know this, everybody on TikTok, on Instagram, get DM'd and messaged the crap out of with, hey, why don't you talk about my product or my product or my product? So among all the products, and brands that are reaching out to them, how do you stand out? What are some recruitment tips?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that question. More specifically because affiliate recruitment is that's my game. My previous company was an affiliate recruitment agency. That's all we ever talked about in the services that we provided. And we've brought a lot of those same practices over to Levanta, and that's how we've been able to build out our network so quickly, is because we've put a lot of those affiliate recruitment strategies into play here. But the question here is, how can a seller kind of stand out from the noise and get affiliates to start promoting their products? There's a lot of things you can do here. The first thing I think is talking about like the different channels of affiliate recruitment, and there are two big ones. There's in network, and then out of network. In network meaning, like, if you use a tool like Levanta or any of our competitors, there's a good chance that there's good inventory of publishers that are a good fit for you. I use publishers, affiliates, creators, influencers, all sort of interchangeably. So when you're doing in-network recruitment, which is where you should start, first of all, you want to have a really compelling message. Our platform has in-platform messaging where you can directly send messages to the creators on the platform. So you want to stand out from the noise. The first thing you can do is, again, have an interesting, novel, unique product, or at least position your messaging to portray it that way. Influencers want to promote cool products. So, that's the good place to start, is just having a cool product. Then there is the idea of offering high commissions. This is something that a lot of people really get hung up on. It's not the most important thing, but it is important. If you're coming in and offering a 2% commission, an influencer may not be excited about that. If you understand the benefits of the organic rank potential upside, and you understand that, hey, maybe if I get this customer in the door now, they may be a returning customer and have a really high LTV, that may drive you to offer way higher commissions. We've actually seen one of our clients, Sports Research, offer up to an 80% commission on some of their products because they understand those sort of auxiliary benefits. An 80% commission is incredibly exciting for influencers and affiliates. They get a lot of responses when they're able to offer that kind of commission. Additional things would be, offering to send out free product right from the get-go. Don't dance around that fact. Find influencers, pre-qualify influencers and affiliates that you're willing to send product to, and offer that up right there in your first message. A lot of people want to get hands-on. Another piece here would be looking at deals and discounts. There's all sorts of different types of deals you can run on Amazon, and you can even stack them. So a lot of folks will do, I'm running a lightning deal and a clippable coupon. I want to send you some product and I want you to promote this deal on this day. That's something that a lot of our influencers and Facebook groups and folks get really excited about, because they want to share good deals with their audience. So I think if you implement all of these things, your chances of success are much, much higher than if you just go out there and say, hey, I'm offering a 15% commission. Here's my product, take it or leave it.
Yeah. And if I'm an Amazon brand owner right now and I don't have an affiliate network or program going on now, do I just go to Levanta and is the in-house, affiliates enough? Or do I need to be actively doing something on my own, working through TikTok, Instagram to bring affiliates myself to your software?
Yeah, another great question. And I think there's a couple ways to answer this. I mentioned again the different channels that you might want to do recruitment out of. First one is outbound through that marketplace. If you get on Levanta, there's a lot of opportunity for you to go actively recruit affiliates in our network. What is also true is that many brands will get a lot of inbound applications. So some folks get lucky enough just to get on Levanta and set auto approve applications on and generate a bunch of revenue. I don't recommend, that's just relying on you kind of getting lucky and somebody maybe stumbling across your brand in our marketplace. Always recommend being proactive in our marketplace. Further than that, you may also want to do external affiliate recruitment. Our platform it's technology. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And so, utilize us as much as you possibly can, because we do give you a lot of really good tools to recruit affiliates. But there may be a lot more out there for your brand or your products that we don't yet have in our network. And if you know that, go find those affiliates. Maybe it's YouTubers, maybe it's TikTokers, Instagram, Facebook groups. It kind of depends again on your product, which of those are going to work well for you. If you already know that there are YouTubers out there that we don't have on our platform, we make it really easy for you to grab a sign up link from in the platform, share it with your potential affiliates, and they can sign up directly for your Levanta program. So to my earlier point, you mentioned that hack on how to recruit YouTube influencers. I still recommend that everyone does that. It's like that was probably my favorite recruitment strategy back in my previous company, Grovia. We would recruit the heck out of YouTube influencers, and it was incredibly successful. We're still doing that today, and our army of sellers are out there, recruiting a bunch of those as well and having a lot of success with them.
I love that. And I love that you have a lot of experience with recruiting affiliates. And here's what I would argue is that I think it's better, like if you're able to go develop your own network of affiliates and not just rely on, hey, I'm going to go to Levanta or any of the other like affiliate portals and just rely on their existing marketplace of affiliates. It's better if you can go self-identify who would be the best fit for this and even bring them on board. So Rob, one of the things I think that is really important if you really want to take the affiliate marketing to the next level is not just relying on whatever affiliates are there in existing platform, whether it be Levanta or Archer affiliates or any of those other programs. It's really being able to go find and identify your own affiliates that already resonate with your brand. You can see they post really good content. So with your experience at Grovia, you were 100% centered on finding those type of affiliates for your to just grow the number of affiliates that are out there. So how do you stand out in the sea of constant spam messaging that these influencing creators are getting? How do you stand out, and how do you actually win them over? And then we'll talk about more advanced strategies after that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, some of those same points that I made earlier about in-network recruitment, I think they apply to this out-of-network recruitment strategy. Make the offer incredibly compelling with deals and high commissions, like unique products, willingness to send products. The other thing here is your method of communication. I mentioned one message earlier. You should never stop at one message. Yes, these folks are receiving tons and tons of emails and DMs from all angles. You need to make your message compelling, but you also need them to see it over and over again to where eventually they're like, wait a second, I'm going to read this one through and maybe it is interesting to me. So that means using something like an email or an outbound email software, whether that's, I use HubSpot, you can use Mixmax. There's all sorts of tools out there that allow you to essentially build drip campaigns and say, send an email on day 1, send another email on day 7, another on day 14, so on and so forth. I also recommend trying to personalize those emails as much as possible. While you can templatize a lot of things, maybe you personalize the subject line to that particular influencer, or I always call it a personal hook. The first line in the email is something that you can relate to about the influencer, or if you can point out that you actually saw some of their content and relate to it or comment on it, that may help you stand out from the noise other than just looking like spam. The other thing is, again, hitting them from multiple angles. Yes, send them multiple emails, but a lot of influencers don't check their email, maybe but once a week, once a month, maybe never. Message them directly on Instagram, comment on their YouTube videos, take whatever methods you need to like actually get their eyes on your message. There's a lot they can do once they're in the funnel for you. Obviously they're driving potentially recurring customers, but they themselves are recurring in nature. And that once they become a fan of your brand, they're not just going to post once, but they can continue to post week after week, month after month, and continue to generate business for you. So, influencers and affiliates are incredibly valuable. They need to be treated that way. One last tip on this point is that as a result of what I'm just mentioning, like the value of an influencer, you may look at different compensation models with them, especially with these folks that you're recruiting outbound that may not already be familiar with Levanta, may not love the commission only model. In many cases, you may want to look at offering some sort of hybrid model to these folks that's like, hey, maybe it's $500 up front plus 20% commission. Maybe it's $1,000 plus 15% commission or reduced commission. So try to give them these additional incentives up front. Those are the types of things that get them excited and kind of get them in your pipeline.
Yeah. No, I love that, Rob. I think that's so important just to it's not just one time that you reach out to them and hope and pray they respond. I like the idea of like having a dedicated follow-up sequence and continuing to reach out. Sometimes it takes people 7 times till they'll pay attention to you, right? And it's just finding the right time and day where the stars align. They're in their email inbox or they're in their DMs and your message comes across and they take action. And so I think that's one of the most, it's kind of like a sales tactic. You just can't give up. You just got to keep knocking and keep calling. So Rob, let's assume we've recruited a bunch of affiliates now. Now my question is, so how do we manage all of these affiliates? How do we encourage them to continue to post about our products so that, again, theoretically, hopefully they're making money from talking about our products, but how do we continue to ensure that they'll continue talking about our products?
Yeah, great point. The same way you just mentioned that the recruitment part of this is a lot like an outbound sales process. The ongoing management is a lot like a customer success process. You need to make sure that there is some continued engagement with these influencers so that they keep promoting your products. There are a couple things. The first piece is making sure, to your point, that they're compensated properly. If they get into your program and they start promoting your products and they're not seeing a return on it, it's the first way to lose them pretty quickly. So make sure you're always monitoring, like, are my products converting well for these folks? Do I need to give them additional incentives? Do I need to set private commissions for some influencers? Give them a higher commission for a certain period of time. That's the first piece. The second is continued engagement, whether that's, a phone call, just a message, an email, a campaign, that gives them information on, upcoming deals, maybe on certain, seasons, whether it's Mother's Day or Prime Day or the holidays. making sure they're aware of when your products are going on sale so that they can share that with their audience. Another thing is new product launches. This is a way to keep things interesting and less repetitive. If you're, selling curling irons and you're trying to push that curling iron on them over and over and over again, they may get tired of hearing about it. But if they like your curling iron, but hey, we just launched a straightener as well, and we launched a new electric brush, this is a way to offer them something new every single time you talk to them. So always keep your affiliates and creators updated on new product launches. And that can be a really good thing for you, especially if it is a new product launch. It's a good way to get reviews and high ratings right from the get-go. You can offer deals and get your influencer and affiliate base to promote those and kind of get things off the ground really quickly. And last thing I'll mention is I've seen a lot of folks do sort of a webinar monthly where they'll invite all of their creators to this so they can kind of announce all of these things and provide updates over one call, sort of in bulk. So you're not having to have separate calls with every single creator.
Interesting. I really like that idea. So let's say, and I'm even thinking like you could have some type of newsletter that you send out to your affiliates, right? Any other, I guess I really like the monthly webinar hack. Any other hacks that you have for us in terms of like how to continue that engagement? Like, are you sending out text messages to people? Is this like a full-time job that you should have somebody on your team focused on? Tell me more.
Yeah, so the webinar, I think that's really going like above and beyond. I've seen very few companies do that. Newsletter is a lot easier to manage. To make things even easier, a tool like Levanta allows you to kind of take that same, message that I just mentioned where you're, announcing your upcoming deals, your new product launches, any news that you think your creators should be aware of. You can just send that as a bulk message within Levanta so that it hits all of your active creators at once. You can even link directly to those product listings within Levanta in that message. So I would say that, all those same principles, like you're still going to get the same value out of it, but it takes a minute to do it in Levanta. So that's the hackiest way of doing it. Beyond that, I think that, again, it's really like when you get the chance and you understand the true value of acquiring these customers that it has on your organic rank and the LTV of those customers, offering a really high commission is the biggest hack here of all. Because affiliates and influencers, they love to get their hands on this kind of offer because they're used to like a 2-3% commission on Amazon Associates. So when they see 50% or something like that, it blows their minds. And so try to do that whenever you get the chance.
Yeah, I love that. Rob, excellent. Rob, as we start to wrap things up, what else have we not talked about affiliate marketing, affiliate recruitment, or engaging our affiliates to really help grow our brand on Amazon that you could share with our audience?
Yeah, I think this is adjacent. I've talked a lot about Levanta. We've talked a lot about Amazon, and I think that focusing your affiliate efforts on Amazon is your best bet because that's where people want to shop. That's where the majority of the U.S. population are doing their shopping. But for folks that are having success in that already, or having success on Amazon in general, I do want to take a second to plug TikTok Shop. I know there's some uncertainty around TikTok right now, and so we'll see where that lands. But I've heard from a lot of sellers that they're having a ton of success on TikTok Shop, and specifically through TikTok affiliate. I think similarly to what I mentioned with Amazon affiliate, TikTok affiliate may not be a fit for everyone. But I do recommend giving it a try because I think it's free to get started. And like I've seen some folks get set up really quickly and launch really quickly. I've also seen some folks have a lot of trouble getting set up. So hopefully I'm not leading anybody on a wild goose chase here, but that's one thing I would generally recommend.
And I'd be interested too, Rob, and we've seen success with TikTok influencers as well. So I'm a big proponent of affiliate marketing in general. And that's what TikTok is completely centered around. At what point do you think it makes sense for a e-commerce brand to go the D2C route with an influencer marketing campaign, right? Because I know a lot of D2C brands, their entire like business model is based off of influencers, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's primarily what Grovia was about, was like helping these D2C brands like find affiliates, because that's their bread and butter of their entire business. They don't have affiliates, they don't have a business. Similar to Amazon sellers, there's no Amazon, there's no business. So Rob, tell me more about those intricacies about D2C, and when do you consider that? Is it worth it? Is it actually better for me to invest the time if I'm going to go recruit affiliates, am I better served recruiting affiliates for my own D2C website than I am recruiting affiliates for Amazon?
Yeah, man, that's a really interesting question that I've actually not gotten before. And we'll probably talk about this one for a while, but I think starting out, it's looking at the two channels holistically. I would say that for anybody that's selling sort of exclusively on Amazon, generally it is a good idea to have a D2C presence as well for a number of reasons. The biggest being, if you ever plan to exit, it's ideal to be diversified across numerous channels. So not all of your sales are concentrated on Amazon. If you've got sales on Amazon, you've got sales D2C, maybe you've got some on TikTok and Walmart. Acquirers like to see that diversification. Now, as far as diversifying your affiliate program, you are right. Some brands do sort of live and die by the affiliate channel in the D2C world. But I would say that's not the case for most brands. And I would actually argue, and I'm biased because I'm a huge proponent of the Amazon affiliate space, and affiliate in general, but I do think that Amazon affiliate marketing as a channel is generating a lot more incremental revenue than the D2C world. And what I mean by incremental revenue is sort of the type of traffic and the type of revenue that it's generating. For example, content creators and content sites and commerce content. That's what's generating a lot of the sales on Levanta and Amazon affiliate. That is, the type of content that is educating users on your product and driving net new customers and net new sales. Whereas in the D2C world, you have a lot of coupon sites and cashback sites and, lower funnel type of affiliates that are less incremental revenue driving. And that's what makes up a lot of those affiliate programs. Now, that's not to say that a lot of affiliate programs out there don't rely on those types of partners and truly do focus on those incremental revenue driving partners. But, coupon and cashback are a huge, huge part of the D2C affiliate space, and they're just not in the Amazon world. I would say this last point here is that when it comes to recruiting that incremental revenue driving affiliate, those folks want to drive traffic to the shopping cart that is going to convert the best, because that's how they earn more money. They need a high conversion rate. And what a lot of those influencers and affiliates know is that people buy their products on Amazon. It is so much easier to swipe your finger on Amazon and get your product tomorrow than it is to go to a D2C website and fill out your information and then add your credit card details and get your package in 2 weeks. Influencers know that. Affiliates know that. So they prefer to send traffic to Amazon. It makes it a lot easier to recruit those affiliates. That's why Levanta's been so successful, because we've been able to recruit those affiliates so quickly. They still get the benefits of that high conversion rate, and now they get this commission directly from the seller that's probably higher than what they're going to get from most D2C affiliate programs anyways. So I don't think that, I would recommend if you're you're investing in Amazon affiliate and it's working, double down on that. Don't try to diversify to D2C quite yet.
Awesome. I think that's a great response. Rob, any other hacks or tips that you can share with us that we haven't discussed at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's one more I think is worth mentioning, and that's a specific pocket of influencers that I think Amazon sellers need to be looking at. And it's one that may not be immediately obvious, and that's Facebook groups. You've probably heard me say this a couple of times, sort of offhandedly, but it is a really easy way to engage with audiences of shoppers at scale. Facebook groups, what I mean by this is, like, if you look at Loved by Jen or Wear It for Less or the Mommy Markdown, there's these groups that are, 400,000 followers, 500,000 followers, a million followers plus sometimes, where, it's just a group of moms or shoppers that are out there looking for new product recommendations and new deals. If you can go to those Facebook groups, we've got a lot of them in Levanta, by the way. You can offer them, hey, we're running a 30% off coupon on this date. And we're willing to offer you a increased commission for this period of time. You can generate a lot of sales in a very short amount of time. And there are a bunch of different of those groups to choose from. So you can keep, once you kind of get one in the door, you can keep recycling that tactic over and over and over again. I think, honestly, that is the hackiest of hacks that I think that not enough Amazon sellers are taking advantage of right now.
I love that. And is there a way to specifically identify whether they have a Facebook group there within Levanta?
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually use our marketplace, and we have filters in the marketplace that say specifically want to see affiliates with 500,000 Facebook followers, or even I would start lower. I would start with 100,000 because a lot of those smaller ones still have scale and still can drive revenue, but are probably less popular and getting less messages from a bunch of other Amazon sellers or D2C sites. So yeah, really easy to do that within Levanta. In fact, it's a lot easier than trying to go to Facebook and do all this manually. We've got a great curated list of them right there for you.
Awesome. I love that. Rob, this has been very exciting. I've got lots of ideas. I've written down a lot of notes here for our own brand. So I appreciate
hopefully you
that.
can use some of these.
No, this has been great. Now, as we wrap up this episode, I love to leave the audience with 3 actionable takeaways from every episode. So, Rob, here are the 3 actionable takeaways that I noted. You let me know if I'm missing anything. Number 1, if you are not looking at doing affiliate marketing whatsoever right now, now is the time to start looking into that. There are more tools out there than ever have been. So you've got Archer Affiliates, you've got Levanta that we're talking about right now. There's actually one other one that I was looking at. You've also got Amazon Creator Connections. Okay. And I'm going to find that other one and I'll make sure we link it in the show notes. But there are quite a few platforms and softwares that are there to help you, get the brand referral bonus, and then pair you up with affiliates. And then those affiliates can then send traffic to your Amazon listings. And Rob, like you talked about, you've seen organic growth with a lot of those other brands. So I love that aspect. So action item number 2 is going to be, you need to create some type of recruitment program. It's not, hey, I'm going to just list my products on Levanta, Archer Affiliates, and Logi is another one. And just think that build it and they will come. False. Like, you need to go out and you need to go tell people, hey, we joined Levanta. You need to reach out on Levanta's marketplace to go find those affiliates and then simply invite them to your program. So you need to be aggressive in inviting people to become aware of your brand. It's not sufficient just to list yourself on there. I promise you it's going to be a long shot in the dark for you if you do otherwise. Action item number 3 is then to have some type of follow-up process with them. And I really appreciate the ideas you shared, Rob. I think the webinar, I think, is really interesting. But being able to say, hey, guys, here are some contests that we're running this month. Whoever brings in the most revenue, we're giving out, maybe an iPhone or an iPad or something like that, just to incentivize these affiliates to send even more traffic to you. And again, you just are continually spinning this Amazon flywheel. So having a method to reach out, to continue to engage these affiliates is super critical. Rob, anything else that I'm missing here?
No, that's great. Those are all perfect takeaways from this. To your point, we actually are not the only affiliate network out there for Amazon sellers. But I do want to add a plug that, obviously biased, I do think we're the best. We've built our platform in a way that it fits really well into existing creator workflows. hence why we've been able to build the biggest creator marketplace and the highest revenue driving marketplace in this space. So, there are other competitors out there. We're probably the most expensive if I had to guess, but classic, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you guys do have a great software tool. There are two other ones that I failed to mention that I just remembered. So you've got another affiliate like network tool that you could look into is Costingtons. Okay, so you could go check them out. Again, they'll pair your brand referral bonus with a group of affiliates. They have a lot of media buyers. And then the other one is going to be the Perch Plus program.
Oh.
That has now since been moved over. It's merged with like the Razor Group, so I don't know what the heck the name is now, but those are some affiliate programs that you could look into. So, Rob, I appreciate you opening that up. Now, Rob, my favorite time is to ask the following 3 questions to each guest. So, question number 1: what's been the most influential book that you've read and why?
Yeah, this one was easy for me. And I've read this book a couple of times just to remind myself, and you probably heard of it. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this has helped me a lot, both in work and in life. And it really just kind of opens your mind to understanding human nature, like how we operate throughout the day. And it's helped me just generally grow as a person and get better at whatever I want to get better at. It helps you design your environment. It helps you design your life in a way to accomplish your goals. If you want to get stronger and get in better shape, set yourself up where your clothes and your running shoes are right by your bedside every single day. Set the coffee to go off automatically in the morning so that you have the habit of getting up, getting your coffee, and getting ready to go. It has been like some of this stuff sounds kind of cheesy, I'll admit it, but I recommend it to literally anybody just to get yourself thinking about, how do you live your life and how can you improve that?
Yeah, Atomic Habits is a great book. Highly recommend that as well. All right, question number 2. What's your favorite productivity tool or maybe a new software tool that you've recently discovered that you think many people don't know about or maybe is underutilized?
Yeah, I mean, there's this new affiliate management tool called Levanta. I can't get enough of it. No, I'm just kidding, of course. There's one that I use every single day. And you've probably used a Trello or a Asana type project management tool. We actually use one called Linear. And it's been absolutely game changing. I think it is the easiest to use project management tool that just helps you manage all your projects, your tasks day to day, and kind of work things through the pipeline really easily. We use it for every aspect of our business, from software development to marketplace management to sales, you name it. We've got a Linear board for that. So if you're in the market for a tool like this, it is free, and I think it's almost certainly the best of the free.
I love it. I love free recommendations. All right, Rob, final question here. Who is somebody that you admire or respect the most in the e-commerce space that other people should be following, and why?
Yeah. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is somebody you mentioned earlier, and that's Kevin King. The man is an absolute legend in the Amazon space. And I learn a ton from him. I'm not natively from the Amazon space, so I get a lot of my information from Kevin. I don't think you guys are competitors at all, but I always take a second to plug his newsletter because it has so much valuable information packed into every single newsletter, and is a pretty fun read. There's a lot of just fun things to learn from those newsletters. So he's my number one answer, but I also want to mention Rand Fishkin, who's been, if you're not familiar with him, he's the former founder of Moz, the current founder of SparkToro. He's been a huge mentor and somebody that both I look up to and my co-founder look up to. He's written a book called Lost and Founder. And so if you're an entrepreneur, I recommend Lost and Founder to everyone. It is such an interesting read on how to, manage your business and think about capital and think about your exit strategy and your lifestyle and things like that. Rand is a wizard, one of the smartest guys I've ever met. And and it has a lot of valuable tips for e-commerce businesses specifically as well, if you follow them on LinkedIn. So that's a
Love
good one
that.
for you.
Rob, this is excellent. Rob, this has been an awesome conversation. Thanks so much for your time today. Rob, if people are interested in signing up for Levanta or reaching out to you, I don't know if you have any offers for people, but how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. The easiest way to get in touch is through levanta.io. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Rob Schab. That's SCHAB, like Schwab without the W. We do have an entry-level plan on Levanta that anybody can use. It's $150 a month. It's completely self-serve, and you can cancel anytime. So if anybody just wants to give things a try and tap into that affiliate network that we've built for you, easy way to do it is with our standard plan. So yeah, feel free to give us a shout there. And if you sign up, let us know that Josh sent you, and we can give you a little extra love to make sure your program is successful.
Awesome. Well, Rob, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to come on the show.
Thanks a lot, Josh. Really been a pleasure.
Thank you for listening. Visit ecommbreakthrough.com for more information. If you've enjoyed today's episode, the best way you can show your appreciation is by clicking the subscribe button and quickly leaving a review. See you again next time.